Laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Trent Murphy in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. The shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White. To throw on second down is Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick, and I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Now Allen breaks through the contact. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit!
On second down, it's McCoy. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Allen. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, But the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
To throw on second down. Stafford. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Lorenzo Alexander coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Murphy. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Detroit! Detroit! Good, good! Good, good!
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. That's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that. Having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Gun!
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Detroit! Gun!
Again, they'll throw with Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Murphy. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point,
well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, complete outright to Kurz. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Blunt. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Blunt. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Blunt. And an alley to run. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. And this is caught by Kurz. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Luke Wilson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. And it's up and good. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills' offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Gone!
A give to McCoy. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left.
Around the NFL, 2nd quarter in Chicago. And it's now the Bears leading by a couple of touchdowns in that one. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. They begin the drive with Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Bills have recovered.
Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on, man.
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. Oh, he shifts past him. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Gone!
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. On play action, Allen. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Clay. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Well, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this.
Here we go now.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Dancing to his left. Benjamin with it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now. Allen. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. The quick slant caught. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Allen again. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills are in for 6.
But while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Adolphus Washington. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a handoff. Johnson. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Now the Bills will take another timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. It put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second, they did not and okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
Let's see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Kerry Hyder in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Allen looks to throw on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Kerry Hyder, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Operating from the gun, Allen. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think you had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw on second down. Stafford going underneath to Blount. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On play action, Allen. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. He completes it to Bryant. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stafford on 3rd down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. This give is to McCoy. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down. Now the first carry for the former Jaguar. This is Chris Ivory. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Detroit!
They'll go again to McCoy. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
3rd and 2, Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Stafford looks to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Lions on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Throwing again at Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Bills have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Out to his left. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
Over! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing now is Allen. This complete to the tight end Clay. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So here come the Lions now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Ivory. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Leopard! Leopard!
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense.
He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 67 yards. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Luke Wilson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Stafford. And that's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of a wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Another run. This time it's Ivory. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So Allen's going to look to throw. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Gone! 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 Over! 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 Over!
Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And some space here. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They come out here in the eye.
Green 39!
On the ground, Ivory, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Chris Ivory, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. Last year, the Bills only went for it 1 time, and they did not convert, but they're going to line up to go for 2 here. Allen hit. He lost the football, and the Lions have recovered. The big fella. Charles, I guess you have to give some credit to the fact that they rallied and made the tackle, didn't allow 2 points to go the other way there.
Find that silver lining, because what happened prior to that was not positive. Go for 2, fumble the football, give up a return, but you're exactly right. They did hustle and prevented a score going against them.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last season.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Shaq Lawson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys.
And he's going to go down again. Kyle Williams in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back.